after Dr. Janice Daniel-Hodge, leader of the Nevis Reformation Party, made statements concerning the defunct West Haven Inn and its handling by the CCM-led Nevis Island Administration. Premier Mark Brantley provided details on what was a land acquisition move done when the NIA was being led by the Nevis Reformation Party. According to Dr. Daniel-Hodge, a guest of the Your Voice with the NRP talk show, the CCM-led administration was not dealing with the matter according to procedure and law.
So with regards to the West Haven and the expenditure, like I said, some of the spending is bad, but then some of the spending would be considered illegal. And in the case of the West Haven development, we know that in the 2024 budget, there was no mention of this expenditure for the West Haven project. However, it was the audit report that highlighted this expenditure that was not allocated for in the budget. And the law prescribes that if you have to spend monies that are not approved in the budget, you must come back to the House of Assembly and present a supplementary appropriation bill and a supplementary budget. Because how can you spend $25 million, or how can you, create this debt for the people of Nevis with no discussion? And not only no discussion, but the specifics of the arrangement are nowhere to be found. And so when he said that he has, after it was identified in the audit report, and he would indicate that, yes, he has this expenditure. But to whom was the payment made, and what are the terms, and how did it get up to $25 million when it was at about $2 million on the NRP? And so many questions.
During his January press conference, Premier Brantley addressed the matters raised on the NRP talk show. The Premier said that while the protracted legal court challenges were proceeding, some going as far as the Privy Council, there could not be any settlement of the matter.
We finally came to an agreement after all the court proceedings. We couldn't tell Mr. Shandy Romani's heirs not to sue. They were in their right to do what they thought was best to protect the interests of the estate. They lost in the High Court, they lost in the Court of Appeal, and they had every right to go to the Privy Council. In fact, the order that they were seeking was that the amount owed to them be paid out of the consolidated fund in Nevis. The court disagreed up at the Court of Appeal level, and the matter was pending at the Privy Council. So but while all of this is going on, interest keeps accumulating on the money. And so that is why it is only when we finally came to a settlement with all parties that we, as the government, were able to come to the public and say, this now is the debt. Now they're saying, I see something where they say, oh, there was an agreement to pay $3 million. Where is that agreement? Because as I explained, the very first valuation done by the owners of the property was for US $5,662,800. That was done since the 6th of August 2007. The only valuation that we've seen here of $3 million is one by Hastings Daniel of blessed memory, and we don't know whether that was $3 million US or EC. We then have another valuation done by Douglas Surveying of US $5.2 million. $5,232,000 to be precise. So those were the valuations, but importantly, no price was arrived at for paying. And that stayed that way from 2007 until 2013. It is only when we got into government in 2013 and we started to look at these matters, because West Haven was part and parcel of some 13, if I recall, parcels of land that were compulsorily taken from divisions by the NRP government. And all of them had one thing in common: they paid for none.
The West Haven Inn was a popular beachside hotel that was severely damaged by Hurricane Hugo in 1989 and never repaired and never reopened. Glenn Bart reporting for SK Newsline.